Hello, you are warmly welcome once again to yet another edition of the SANKOFA Shift, where we retrieve the past to build the future. This is your brother and friend Joshua Ponsafo of the New African Concept. And so far, we've been sharing on very important things. And this is to form the very foundation of the entire show. As we said, we are getting ready. We've been getting some comments. People really want to delve into the history. Just pump your brakes. We'll be doing justice to this very narrative. But we want to build very strong foundation on the fact that so far we have established that the nation refers to the cohesive bonding within or amongst the people. And the bonding could either ride on a common history or a language or something that binds them together. So nationhood talks of something that comes with an emotion. People attach emotions to it, and they are willing to die or sacrifice if need be for it. Statehood, however, talks of a legal entity that has a government, that has a constitution, and then physical borders. As of last week, we had already established that Ghana has a state, a sovereign state. But as a nation, Ghana is struggling to become a nation. Why? Because Ghana is not having that cohesive element, which we are tonight's show is to throw a bit light on the evidence. What shows that what the claim I am making is true? How can we ascertain, confirm, and then approve the fact that Ghana is a state but not yet a nation? Though we normally use our nation called Ghana or a nation called Ghana. Yes, so that is the focal thrust of our show tonight. And I believe that we will have some good time. Let me just walk you through a bit of slight history, then we'll look at some elements. So, for instance, take economics. Economics. When you take economic, in the previous government, before they left, inflation was around or was striking around 54.1%. Now, at a point in the new government, it was said that we had it around 3.3%, which was a monumental shift or drift or reduction in inflation. Together with the dollar rate from possibly maybe 17, 16 cedis to dollar, and then it has come down, now playing around between 10 to 12 cedis based on the source you may be resorting to. However, some way, somehow, it has not translated so much into the level of living of the people. It is because there is a gap between the state and then the nation. You can take, for instance, a businessman, a businesswoman. It is almost the case that Chrome had here. Say, yeti norma so ese dien. Inoma esonte. Dollar abba down. Inoma sonte. Why? Because the person is having a greedy disposition. There is greed in capitalism, which has become the very being of our system. The question is not whether or not we should align with capitalism and socialism. If you are to ask me, I will pick capitalism over socialism. However, even in capitalism, it can lead to destruction when the heart, which is the very substance, is broken and corrupt through greed. And inti obiakofa enoma at a particular price. Yate enoma no so. Now so obeka kire say the price or the kofa san noma no na edoso dodo. That time na yente so and he has to sell it with that high price for which you went for in the first one before there was a reduction. But this same person, oko na se ya tu noma no mu a, oko na se okofa noma at a lower price, na ochina ya tu noma no mu a, the person's logic would have been that, let me sell the first one at the price that I went for, so that when I go and take this new one at a higher price, I will then be able to sell it at a higher price. Yenya tu mwa, though okofa noma no at a lower price. Onyate se ya tu mwa, ono nso obo akotum. Ubisa na wapeka se me kwa kofa noma na, I need more amount of money to go and take the new one. But the question is that the old one that you took, new price now, bano, and it did not affect the old one that you went for. So sell it at the normal price, go for the new one, and then sell it at the new price. What is the difference? It is greed. So because of greed, even when there is a potential or when there is a reduction of prices, it does not some way somehow reflect in our normal engagement. Why? Because the people transacting the business has an issue, which is an element of greed in their hearts, a quest for materialism in their hearts. This is the subject of nation or nationhood. And that is why whenever there is even a shift at the statehood level, it does not translate into the nationhood level, because there is a gap. So that is a typical example. Another example is that of Galamsey. So I am giving evidence to substantiate the claim that Ghana is a state, but we are yet to build our nation. So nation building is a mandatory requirement. And because it is not there, and until 69 years down the line, with all our efforts, we are not still there because we have given attention mostly to the statehood and macroeconomic and political entities, and we have neglected, either consciously or unconsciously, the real Ghana, which is the substance, which is the core, which is the very, being, which is the real Ghana and which is the nation. Galamsey is another example. Galamsey is destroying our nation, or let me say our country, Ghana. And you don't need any more statistics to show. And it is not an issue of only the present government. It is an issue of, it is a long-standing issue. Unfortunately, it has been politicized all through. So this present government, when in opposition, some way, somehow, it looks like when a party is in opposition, that party becomes so wise, that party within opposition is able to know all the answers to our problems. But when they come to power, when they are given the nod, then something begins to happen. We were all in our chroma, and then we saw how this present government used the issue of Galamsey to press the neck and suffocate the erstwhile government. We had people within this government pushing the agenda or the narrative that the government or the president and his entourage, if they really have the conscience and then the will, the political will to stop Galamsey, it should not take the president and the military more than 2 weeks or even a month to terminate it. Now they are in power. Has it been terminated? No. Efforts have been made. Is it blue water guards and what, repealing some ALIs and things? But with all these, yes, still, Galamsey has skyrocketed. And even with the attachment of gold board, which we will be talking about in later times. What is the point? The point is that Galamsey is destroying our people. Galamsey is destroying our land. Look at the health risk in places of Galamsey. Teratogenic diseases. Our pregnant women taking in these substances unconsciously through the water that they drink, and it is affecting the babies, so that when we give birth to them, some are blind, some have one ear lost, and things like that. Yes, still, we are bound on making sure that we destroy our land. What is the issue? This is not much of a state issue, it is much of a nation issue. We don't have love because we don't have love and patriotism for our nation. And all what we are saying is, what will you do to me? We are not projecting into the future, thinking about our children and children's children, that these people, our actions, our choices, our decisions has the capacity to determine a lot of things for them. This is what nationhood is about. So we have the systems of government, we have the government, we have the elements of statehood, but it is still not producing the tangible results we so earnestly desire because nationhood is a neglected term. And until we coalesce, until we come together and decide that we want to build the nation, which is the real deal, which is the real Ghana, unfortunately, we are going to continue business as usual. Macroeconomic, microeconomic, which we really shared at the beginning. To put things together for the purpose of this tonight's session, next week I'll continue with the evidence to substantiate the narrative. You will realize that with the laws, let's say the constitution, so if I go to steal and then I am caught and then I'm presented or I'm taken to the police station, but my uncle is a member of parliament for a particular constituency, at the police station I will then call, or my relative that will come will call my uncle. And in the police inspector no hono na homa ate ya free office order from above. Guy na amache no ya asumesi ne wofase wa frese sia se munyi no o de one no bekasa. Now the laws of the land behooves that because I have stolen, the law should deal with me. That is statehood. Nationhood, which talks of the values, which talks of the real deal, is not there. It is a broken nation. And because we have a broken nation, now somebody is calling into when we say, Obi Efre, in order to destroy Imrano. Imra epiko bremenina, we have it. Now, so Imrano enye juma, especially when it comes to the big fishes. Yeah, you down on the Imrano betimi no we di no. But the big fishes, immediately it happens. So now, mi wo hwa na yakase, yesi yenyime. The Imrano did not deal with me successfully because inside the nation there is brokenness. So a bigger power, my uncle who is an MP, has called the police station that I am meyane and inti omunyimi emfri honum. And inti the other person now wako wiade na ono oni ni wofa na se ne swa in government ono ye de no beko, and that day na ye wako jina court, and that day na ye piano ashe prison. You try 3 years amano wako wia banche wako wia bode wako kum mwabi anisi yukum you try 3 years ya. But those who are doing all kinds of shady deals are left to be kept there, or they are released because there is a higher influence. That is what happens when nationhood is not there and broken. This has been another edition of the SANKOFA Shift. Here we get into the archives and then build the future. And we are on the subject of the state-nation gap. Some evidence have been given. Next week, I'll come your way again as we delve deeper to uncover more evidence to substantiate this claim. Till we meet again, Goodbye, and then stay blessed.
Omafo